comments on the game, then we'll take your questions. Coach Mark?
Well, I'd like to first thank our fans like I always do. What a tremendous atmosphere to be 12 o'clock and a little chilly out there. I thought our fans came out and did an awesome job, helped impact the game for us. It was great to honor Coach Richt, who I have so much respect for. I got to see him and get a big hug there coming out for the second half and see so many guys that played for him that care so much about him and it meant so much to UGA. A lot of them I had flashbacks of back when I was a young coach. So it was really good to see them. I thought we started out kind of sloppy today, a little bit of a lack of focus early, especially on defense. But, offensively it took us a while to get going. But once we did, we really did some nice things. And we're proud of the guys. We're starting to get some guys back. And then we lost a couple guys that are banged up. But all in all, really pleased with the guys' effort. But we got some things we got to clean up. And I will say on the Adams situation, because I know everybody wants to ask and ask questions, with it being an ongoing legal situation and matter, I can't comment on it, can't talk about it. I will tell you we're cooperating fully with all the law enforcement and campus organizations, and that's all I can say about it. So if you want to ask, I'm going to have to stick to that statement. With that, we'll open it up.
All right, let's take the first two questions from Anthony Dasher and Mike Griffith.
Hey, Coach, I know you'll probably get a lot of quarterback questions today, but I was just wondering to have both guys healthy now, how much does that, or is that going to enable us to maybe open up the playbook even more than what has been before?
I don't know that having both of them, I don't know that I understand the question. I don't know the rationale behind both of them being healthy. We can open them more because we have Carson, who I think does a tremendous job when they're not healthy. So we don't limit the playbook based on the health of the quarterback, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's what I meant, Coach, is having one or the other affects the way you call a game.
Yeah, the one we have affects how we call the game, but it doesn't limit what we do in terms of opening up the play. But we put a plan together based on the quarterbacks that we have, and then we execute the plan.
Kirby, kind of a 2-point question here. One, how did you anticipate Missouri would go with that run stop defense? And two, did you know coming into the day you were going to play JT at some point?
On the run stop defense, I don't know what you mean. They were going to play the run stop defense. They played the same defense they've been playing. They played a little better. They changed out a couple guys personnel wise, but I mean they didn't change their defense by any means. We didn't run the ball real well, if that's what you're asking. We did not do that super well, but there was no massive change in terms of what they did. They did max blitz a little more and took some more chances than they normally do.
Next question is from. Go ahead.
And then you said last week that you typically have a plan for the quarterbacks. Did you know coming into today that you were going to use both quarterbacks?
Again, we make our decisions as a staff for what we think is best for the team, and we'll continue to do that.
All right, next two questions, Chip Towers and then Mark Weiser.
Coach, can you just address kind of the overall? You guys have a chance now going to Tennessee to finish the SEC season undefeated. What do you feel like at this point is you need to be focusing on to make that happen?
We need to be focusing on Tennessee. Playing in a really tough environment, one of the toughest places to play in the country. Their fan base is balled in, all in on Coach Heupel and his staff. It will be a tremendous atmosphere and opportunity in which so many other conferences don't have teams that maybe aren't in the hunt for, maybe an SEC championship that have that much passion that they're going to sell it out and be really loud. It will be a great atmosphere, and our players will need to prepare for it. We will need to prepare our players for it. It's going to be a really tough physical game. They've got a really good football team. I've been able to watch them play, several weeks that we've either been off or we had this early game, and you get to see them at night. And they've actually played a lot better than some of their scores indicate. And I've got a lot of respect for their team and how hard they play. So I think our guys realized, got a little bit of a wake-up call today that this was not probably a subpar outing for us in terms of execution and play style for us.
Thank you.
Kirby, I want to ask you how you think Broderick Jones did without Jamari in there and Robert Beal playing a lot more with Anderson not playing?
Hard to say without seeing it. I know we had a couple comments on the headphones with Matt about Broderick. He had a couple missed assignments or lack of focus plays where he could have gotten up on a guy and helped a little bit in the run game. But I'll reserve judgment until I see it. It's kind of the same way with Adam. He played considerable more snaps. MJ played more snaps, and so did Chaz. But I can't sit here and tell you exactly how we played. I know we didn't play to the standard that we would like to play to on defense in terms of turnovers and rushing defense.
The next two questions from Charles Odom and then Seth Emerson.
Talk about the final sequence of plays for your defense. Obviously, the game is decided, but there's some pride factors on the line. Were some of your starters lobbying you to get back in the game?
They didn't come to me. I think they know the answer to that. They did cheer on those other guys, and in the huddle, they really encouraged them, and they take so much pride in keeping the scoring down that I thought the guys were all over there coaching them, going over the points of emphasis, the nuggets, the red area, things we go over on Wednesday. We spend 15, 20 minutes on red area going over top plays and just concepts. And, we rep everybody at practice. So those guys got quality reps and did a heck of a job. Is that the only question you asked? Yeah.
Kirby, a lot of receivers got targets and had big plays. Does it, even with Dom and George not back yet, Justin, does it feel like receivers are kind of rounding into form at this point in the season?
Yeah, I thought this game was the closest. I thought, Arian had a full week. We met on Monday, said you're getting your full quota. You got to go. You got to get your reps to be able to play. Jermaine, hey, you're getting your full reps. Coming off Florida, I felt like they were both healthy Florida, but they weren't healthy the week of practice. And I feel like they were both healthy this week of practice, which helped us from a depth standpoint to be able to rep. Ladd got to share reps, so he didn't have to take the burden. JJ Kieras, AD, and when we were fully healthy at receiver, excluding George and Dom, we have a good unit. With George and Dom, then that's what we thought going into the season it would be special. But we're working to try to get those guys back, and I thought the perimeter this week, I was so much that touchdown by Jermaine Burton. Nobody talks about it. Kieras goes out and throws a great block, and so did AD to get Jermaine untouched into the end zone. That to me is the ultimate sign of selflessness at receiver.
And next question, Jake Rowe, and then to Dean Legge.
Kirby, as far as kind of what you guys are doing defensively, does the loss of Adam and the fact that he's absent right now, does that maybe put more not just on Robert Beal's play, but on other linebackers' play, like maybe a Quay Walker or a Channing Tindall?
Not really those guys. I would say Robert Beal, yeah, he played more snaps. It's allowed some of our inside guys to go outside and rep. Warren is bumped out, played outside some. MJ's played more. Chaz has played more. So it's not a burden on the inside backers, no, but it probably is a little more on the outside guys.
Kirby, I can't see certain things because I'm shooting a 600 millimeter lens. When Nolan's blocking these punts, is he being sent, or is he being sent on those? Block?
When we call a block, he's being sent. We called a block the first punt of the game, I think it was, and we thought he got really close. But the other one was a really good job by our special team staff of having a check for when they checked, and Dan Jackson is our check guy. So it was not a call block, but it triggered a block by what they did, and he did an excellent job. He's a very conscientious. He takes pride in the units he's on, and it was a really big play.
Next question to Palmer Toms, and then to Drew Hubbard.
Kirby, obviously you haven't seen the tape, but going back and seeing what you saw today from JT, what were your initial impressions of his return to the field?
I know he did a nice job while he wasn't in the game. He was over by me calling out the defenses, the checks, going through them like he was playing the game, and to hear him call out the coverages and the checks and know exactly what he's planning on going to, it was really good. It gives you it gives you a lot of confidence in him when he's over there making those and talking to Stetson when he comes off the field. Thought he had really good command of the offense when he went in. He's got great poise in the pocket. Did a tremendous job. Got a little unfortunate on the tip ball, a little off on Jermaine, and then hit Jermaine in the hands, and then it bounced off and ricocheted to end up being a pick.
Kirby, obviously Missouri played on both Brady and Tyler. What was the difference like defensively when they would roll out either Brady Cook or Tyler Macon today?
Well, both of them are athletic. They didn't. They probably used Cook more to run than I would have thought. I think he's a better athlete maybe than we gave him credit for. We knew Macon was a really good athlete. They moved the pocket and they used the quarterback in the run game, which is to get an extra hat. That's what you have to do, and they did a nice job of doing that.
All right, let's take the next question from Davis Baker, and then we'll go to Connor Riley.
Hey, Kirby, going off that question, just why did you think that they were successful, specifically running on third down, and how did you guys adjust to stop it?
Why were they successful on third down? I felt like we were running up the field. We had 2 times that we didn't get in our gaps, and you have to have discipline. Everybody on the defense has to do their job, or you have a hole. And we had a couple holes there early where they gashed us because we had guys running up the field. You can't do that and be a good defense. You can't be selfish. You've got to buy into your job and execute your job. And I think when we go back and watch the tape, we'll find guys that maybe didn't do their job.
Hey, Kirby, earlier in your press conference, you used the word subpar to describe, how the team played today, and yet you guys still come out with a 37-point win. What does that say about where this team is to where it's certainly not your best day, but you're still able to get a very quality win over an SEC East opponent?
I don't know what it says. It says that the players on our team certainly felt that way because it was addressed in the locker room after the game, and some of those guys stood up and didn't feel like it was our best effort, and it was a little lackadaisical at times, but some of that was more defensive than offensive, in my opinion. We didn't run the ball the way we wanted to, but we were explosive.
Let's go to Jed May, and then we'll see if Allison has a question.
Yeah, Kirby, just talking about Missouri, especially Cook, I guess, being able to run the ball, just how much more difficult does it make it for you guys when a quarterback's able to do that? And how does that affect, or does it affect, I guess, how you call the defense on the sidelines?
Yeah, when the quarterback can run the ball, you got to treat it like an extra hat. You got to use an extra person in the run game to try to stop them. We're usually pretty good at that because we're really physical up front, but somebody's got to win on both sides of a block if the quarterback's running the ball. You can't be in a one-gap defense and expect the quarterback not to find an open hole. You just don't have enough men. They packaged some quarterback runs with bubbles and throws where they make it hard to be right if you don't win physically up front. And there were some holes in there that we didn't play well.
Kirby, I saw you tweeting the world champs, and then Jock Peterson was here today. I didn't know if you had a chance to talk to him. And also, just how important is it for your guys to see a team win a championship and be surrounded by that energy? Stetson said that energy kind of bleeds in from Atlanta to Georgia, and especially what you guys are trying to do this year.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was hoping to get to see those guys. I saw, I guess, Jock during the timeout or when they recognized him, and all our water boys had the beads or the pearls on. So they were all representing, including my son, who's a big Jock fan. But I didn't get a chance to speak to him, and so proud of what the Braves have done for the state and for Atlanta, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat to watch them do so well, especially to close the way they did.
We've got time for a couple of more questions. Emily, do you have a question? And then we'll check with Mark Bradley.
Hey, Kirby, I was just wondering, you've been doing this long enough to know that any athlete, it's as much physical as it is mental. With JT, what are you guys doing? What's your coaching staff doing, or even you, to keep his confidence up?
Yeah, most of that comes through reps and practice, right? You get confidence through repetition. Repetition is the mother of all skill. And he gets reps. He works hard at it. He gets competitive reps against our defense and throwing the ball. And, confidence is not given. Confidence is something that's earned by how you work. I think JT has a lot of confidence in himself. I stand by him and hear him talk about it. And I think he has tremendous confidence. I think both our quarterbacks have tremendous confidence. And I have tremendous confidence in them.
I'm okay, Claude. I yield my time.
Okay. We'll take the last question from Tyler Griffith. Tyler, do you have a question?
Yeah, I saw a stat Arian has 3 career touchdowns on his 5 catches. Can you just talk about the added element that he brings to this offense? And was he feeling 100% today? Was there any point that he maybe was sore?
I don't think so. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to ask him that during the game. I certainly felt like he was 100%. He's still, you know, we still have some youth. He still really has not even played a season. I mean, he was just partial last season. He's been injured most of this season. AD's still really young and green. Lad's come along, been nice. Jermaine is considered like a veteran, and he's in his 2nd year. So a lot of those guys are youthful, and you have to go through these, I don't know what you call them, these learning experiences, these moments of just growing. You know, he was the gunner on the punt that we expected to make the tackle or make the guy fair catch, the one punt that almost came out on us and he fell down. So it's one of those things that Arian is he's working hard, man. Arian takes a lot of pride in doing things right, but he has to improve, and our team has to continue to improve. And that's the biggest thing is not falling victim to this narrative that's out there. We have to get better because the games are getting nothing but bigger and bigger and bigger each week. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach Smart. You can please, if you want to speak to offensive players, you can remain on this Zoom.